When you awaken the dead, the further you travel, the riskier your journey will become.
Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror. So today, guys, we're going to be giving you our spoiler review
Spoiler.
of Insidious, The Red Door.
So we're going to talk about things that we liked, disliked, and just our overall thoughts of the movie.
Right, just a brief synopsis. The movie takes place 9 years after the events of Insidious Chapter 2. And in this film, Dalton is going to college.
He's a big boy now.
Josh and Renee have divorced. But Dalton and Foster are both played by the same actors.
Which I love.
Yes, that really works out. We have lost Josh's mom, Lorraine. She has passed away.
Horrible.
Dalton is starting to get his memories back after being in school. He's gone to art school. He was always good at drawing.
Yeah.
Much like my wife.
You should. Oh, yeah. But if I have to do his drawings from this movie, I'm out. I can't do it.
Yeah, it starts to unlock memories of his past. And Josh has been in a fog. He's been in a daze. He's trying to figure out what's wrong with him. So let's talk about some of the things that we liked about the film.
So I do like that we just talked about it, how we have these reoccurring actors, They grew up right in front of our eyes. We have these boys that we seen when they were little boys. Josh is also grown up. Renee, all of them. I like that they're all back.
And it really makes you feel for them.
Yeah.
Having the same characters that you've watched through 2 other films. This is really the third part of the Lambert trilogy. I know there's 5 Insidious movies, but Chapter 3 and The Last Key don't focus on this family.
They don't.
So you get to watch this family in the third part of their trilogy, which I believe is the end of the Lambert saga.
Yeah.
One of the things I really liked about the film is some of the cameos we got. Stephen Coulter,
Yes.
he came back and he did a cameo, which I absolutely love because a lot of you that know me know that Carl was one of my favorite characters in the franchise. I was really having my fingers crossed we'd have him.
I was very excited when I seen him.
Had an amazing Specs and Tucker.
Yes. Oh my goodness. We just got this, this short little video of them. It was short but sweet and funny, and it just
one of the memorable parts of the film.
It really just pulled out their, their different personalities, and it just really.
Oh, they were bickering. They were bickering in their cameo.
That's them. So, we didn't get a big, amount of them. We got just this little amount, and it was perfect.
And that's what I love about the 3 cameos I wanted to talk about. Really the 4 cameos, but you had Specs and Tucker, you had Carl, and then you had our homegirl, Elise.
Yes.
Lynn Shay, the most beautiful Lynn Shay.
Literally, we're just like, literally clapping when we're seeing
2
her.
different cameos from Lynn Shay, Elise. And one of them really punches you in the gut.
For sure.
It's an amazing, beautiful moment. I will say this movie made me feel a lot more than any other Insidious movie did when it came to loss.
Yes.
Elise says a line. Josh says, "There's so many things I want to tell my mom." And Elise says, "You will. She knows."
You're going to make me cry now.
Yeah.
It definitely... few different parts that I got teary-eyed on because again, you feel like you are a part of this family, you've seen them grow up, so
and now you've been brought back into the family and you've lost the grandma.
You lost
the mom and dad are divorced,
which I'm like, no,
right.
how
and then the 4th cameo is from our boy Tiny Tim, Tiptoe Through the Tulips, which was super great.
Yeah, and it was a little bit different and awesome.
A little modernized.
I thought it sounded really great.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that I liked. What are some of the other things that we liked about the film?
We got, well, it's not really Darth Maul anymore. He kind of got a glow up. He looks super creepy.
The lipstick face demon definitely got a glow up in this film.
Yeah, like his eyes, the way that Dalton, he got possessed in this film instead of Josh.
At the end of Insidious, into Insidious Chapter 2, Josh gets possessed by the Black Bride. In this film, however,
Dalton gets, he possesses his body. And just the way Dalton looks, like his eyes are glowing and just his mouth looks great. Looks creepy. I thought it was great.
What I loved about Dalton's possession in comparison to Josh's from the original / part 2, right away.
You can see it. But whereas with
Black Bride,
Josh, you have to take the pictures. Or you just see little things like his hand.
He's starting to age faster and he's decaying. This one is instant. And it looks really good.
It really does. Also, there's a new character. Chris. Yeah, I thought she was a great new addition. And
She really took a lot of the comic relief.
She did, but just like her and Dalton together, like
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he needed a friend like her, and just the charisma between the two was amazing.
It really was. She's one of the people that you would love to hang out with in college.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is somebody that I would hope would be in my dorm that would like kind of take me under her wing, because
Right.
she's like more outgoing than Dalton and trying to like get him out of his comfort zone,
Right.
which, you know, enhances him going and figuring out things that happened in his past.
I do like the dynamic between the whole family throughout this film.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Josh and Renee are divorced.
Yeah.
Yes, they're still in love.
Oh, you can definitely tell.
Foster has one amazing scene with Foster, the younger brother.
Yeah.
When he brings a picture into the frame. Is an amazing
He's like,
scene.
yes, absolutely. I'm not gonna say it, but
Yeah.
yeah, and also like, you know, Foster, he's like the middle child, and he always just has that one like cool scene where it like gives you chills, like in the first one where he's like, I don't like it when Dalton
Is walking around at night.
Yeah, and like this one, I felt like that was his
chill
scene.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just seems like a cool kid in this movie. Oh, is that what happens when you go to college? I'm not going. And he hangs up on his brother.
It's just like a typical like brother relationship.
Another thing that I really liked a lot about this movie was the amount of good jump scares. I
Yes.
think that jump scares can be overplayed. This movie had a good amount of good jump scares.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton of jump scares at all, but like you said, there is good ones. There's ones they're really good at doing the magic effect where you think that you're getting
Watch this hand while this hand is sneaking out.
and then you're getting this other one. And I a couple of times felt like I was going to jump out of my seat from these scares.
I am shocked that this is Patrick Wilson's directorial debut. One of the best things about this movie, I feel, was the direction. He knew how to make... You could tell that he's worked with these people before. Even though this is his first time directing, he knew how to build the tension. He knew how to let it drag out before you got that jump scare, which I thought was, that's what I think. When you build that tension, you build that anxiety, that's what really enhances your jump scare. So we can go on and on about the things we like about this movie, because there really is a lot of things to love. And there's a lot of cool Easter eggs for fans of part 1 and 2,
There
whether
really
it's
is.
certain music notes that are played on pianos. There are a lot of cool little things that you'll notice. And like I said, even the fact that Dalton has gone to art school.
Yeah.
Little things like that they bring you back to. One of my favorite scenes in the film is Dalton going back to Insidious Chapter 2 and seeing the events. And one thing about this movie is, what we remember is Dalton got his mind wiped.
Right. Well, both him, Dalton, and Josh.
Josh got his mind wiped.
Yes.
Foster didn't.
Yeah, so Foster...
Renee
didn't. So they still remember, but they have to keep it a secret. Like, they can't tell them.
And remember, Foster, he was a young boy, and he saw his dad trying to attack his family with a bat and a hammer. That would have a bat... It doesn't matter who's on the inside.
Yeah.
As a little kid, what you see is your father coming at you doing these things.
Which is, we get a part where Renee's like, I had to lie to them. I had to pretend that never happened.
It was their imagination.
It was their imagination. But they still seen your face. You were the one doing it. Even though it wasn't you, it was still your face. Which really, and she was like, I couldn't take it anymore.
That's
like,
part of the reason they split.
Yes, so chilling. Like all these things, just how they went into play.
And that goes right into the scene we were talking about with Foster. Like that, ice-breaking moment.
Yes.
So I thought that was a great addition to the film. Foster has a lot more importance in this film, even though they're little parts.
Yeah.
The little parts he's in are huge in the scope of the film. So we could talk, like I said, all night about the things we like.
Honestly, I'm excited to see it again.
But let's talk about some of the things we dislike from the film.
Okay, some of the things everyone's safe in the film. You're not going to lose one of your main family members, even though there was a part where I thought maybe we were, and it felt very emotional, and then it just kind of got wiped away.
Yeah.
I felt like it could have been more emotional. You know what I mean?
One of the things I really disliked is in every other Insidious movie, your big bad gets a big amount of exposition into who they are. Now, I get that we got that from the first one with the lipstick-faced demon, but they teased Joshua's father throughout the film.
Yeah.
And I really thought that we were going to get the lipstick-faced demon was Josh's dad. Like, that was something I really thought.
You thought Mama Lambert was with the...
No, I thought that was his, after, what I mean?
No,
But, like,
I get it.
I felt like there was a lot of wasted opportunities, especially with the ending. it could have went the way that you wanted it to go. I don't think I would have went that way.
It felt too safe. Like they just kind of took the safe road out.
Well, to be fair, I think they wanted to have a definitive end. This is the first Insidious film where we get a definitive end.
This is true.
This is done.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that. I don't need to see the Lambert story anymore. I thought this was a great ending to the Lambert chapter of Insidious. Now, is the Insidious franchise over?
Probably not.
No. There is a post-credit scene that definitely reveals it's not over. But I think that it should be over. Another thing that really bummed me out is you get the Black Bride in this movie for one flashback clip.
Yeah.
Now, the Black Bride was a huge essential part of Insidious 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I would have thought that we would have gotten a little more of Parker Crane, the Black Bride.
Yeah, because, I mean, the Black Bride is terrifying. I think one of the most terrifying villains that this franchise has had. So, yeah, like, getting more of that, even though we did have a lot of the Black Bride in part 2. But even like you said, I wish that we would have gotten more of a backstory on Lipstick Face Demon.
Right.
Like, why is he... Like, what is he? Like, why?
Right, because we know about the Black Bride.
We know why
we know about
is the way
the man with the
is.
oxygen mask.
Yeah, but so what's going on with this? Like, why
we
is
know
he
about
a demon?
Keyface.
Yeah,
so
like,
these
I
want to
know why.
Right. That's one of my big complaints is I was really hoping when I saw, the Lipstick Face Demon in the trailer, I was like, oh, hell yeah, he's back. We could finally get some exposition. Because even in the first one, like, yeah, he was kind of the big bad. But really, in the first one, it was more about the long-haired fiend and the Black Bride. Like, it was still more about them. We never got really anything about who the Lipstick-Faced Demon was. And if you're going into this movie thinking, yes, I'm going to finally get some backstory, you will be disappointed in that because we do not get any more backstory to the Lipstick-Faced Demon, which, like I said, that was one thing I was really going into this movie very excited about.
Absolutely.
Another thing I disliked about the film, like you talked about a little bit, was the pacing.
Yeah,
I thought the pacing could have been a little better.
It was slow at times, between like jump scares, stuff like that. Like I felt like there was a lot of Dalton drawing, just like little things put in there just to make the movie maybe a little longer.
Right, and it didn't have to be.
No.
You could have easily taken those things out and the pacing still would have been fine. If this was an hour and a half movie, if this was an hour and 20-minute movie, it would have been just as good.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, when we come to like is there any more negatives that you want to talk about
Not
with
that
the film?
I can think of. I honestly, there wasn't a ton that I disliked about the film. I really did enjoy it.
So that's what I want to talk about, like our overall thoughts. Like I said, I feel like there were more positives to this movie than there were negatives, in my opinion.
No, I agree with that 100%. Like I left there happy.
Right.
I was very nervous going in. The Rotten Tomato scores weren't very good
already.
Yeah, so we know how Rotten Tomatoes score, how they score horror movies. They're not very kind to horror movies. So I was really worried. I was told that it ruined the franchise. In my opinion, I don't think it did. Like I don't think it's the worst one in the franchise
Not even
either.
close.
So yeah.
I don't like that Renee and Josh are divorced, but it really does enhance this story.
I think you kind of needed that for plot purposes, but still, like they love each other. Like they're meant for each other. You can just tell.
And I really wish that Josh's mom, I wish that she
could have at least we could have seen her before she just was gone,
or at least maybe again, her dying is essential to the plot of this story.
Yeah.
It's a very big plot of the story.
You mean when Elise came back, if we could have kind of seen her too?
No, even if she would have just gotten the chance to tell Josh why I hid this stuff from you.
Yeah.
Because, obviously at Renee, she comes clean to Josh.
She has to
we suppress your memories.
Has to tell him.
Right. Because he's saying, I'm seeing my dad. That's a big side plot to this, is we do get to meet Josh's dad in this film.
And they talk about mental illness a lot, too.
Right.
So it's he thinks that he,
he is
this,
mentally ill.
Yeah,
schizophrenia.
Schizophrenic, because his dad...
We find out about Josh's dad.
Yeah,
we find out who he was,
learn a lot about
what happened to him. This Stops With Me
yes.
is a big thing, big part of the film.
Absolutely is.
So my overall thoughts, I really enjoyed the film. I really did. I think that this is a film that I would like to go back and revisit, because kind of like with every other Insidious movie, I feel like every time you watch them, you pick up on something that you didn't notice the first time. And when I went into this movie, I didn't go in looking for a twist. I didn't go in looking for, big reveals. I just went in to be entertained, and I definitely was. Some of the jump scares were shown in the trailer, obviously. The trailer did not give away this movie.
There was a jump scare in the trailer that we didn't even get.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, I was kind of like bummed about it almost.
But there was a lot of stuff in the trailer. Like there's a scene in the trailer where Josh is talking to Dalton and he's like, our family wiped our minds.
Yeah.
And that never happens in the film.
So there's things that
they definitely threw you off in the trailer. The trailer made me think this movie was going in one direction and it really went in another.
Which is fine.
Right. Yeah, I was surprised by a lot of the decisions they made. A lot of this movie is a family drama.
Yeah.
And when you can take a movie like this and, you know, characters we care about.
Yeah.
And you can make it a drama to where I genuinely care about them. And like I said, the one scene where they go back to revisit Insidious Chapter 2. Here's what's funny. At the time of recording, the movie Insidious, The Red Door just came out today. We just went and seen it.
Yes.
Last night we watched Insidious 1 and 2, and you know, we showed it to our friends and we watched it. And there's a scene where Josh is about to hit Dalton with a hammer. And when that happens, Elise kills Parker Crane's mother, and Josh just stops. And he falls down. And Ashley was like, why would killing Parker Crane's mother stop Parker Crane?
We get answers.
You find out
you get
why.
Answers.
Like, you get that. By the way, high five. I didn't mention that until just now.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that earlier because we wanted to, like, kind of clear our minds before we came and did this review. But she said that last night. She goes, why would killing Parker Crane's mother just stop Parker Crane?
And then when it happened, it was
and
like...
you see now why that stopped Josh / Parker Crane, and how Parker Crane was eliminated out of Josh's body at that moment. And I loved how in Insidious Chapter 2, you found out stuff that happened in Insidious Chapter 1 and why it happened.
Yeah, and so they kind of, you know, they did that in this
and in
one,
this
which was amazing.
You find out why things that happened in Part 2 happened the way they are. So, you know, it took 9 years, but now we know why.
But now we know.
Killing Parker Crane's mother stopped Parker Crane, you know, dead in his tracks. So, my overall thoughts of the movie, if we're going to rank this out of 5 skulls, I'm going to give it a 2.75 to 3 out of 5. Just because, like, I don't think this is the worst in this franchise.
No.
I don't think it's the best in the franchise. It is a welcomed addition. I think that, you know, Insidious 1, 2, and 5 is a fantastic trilogy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Putting those 3 together, it is a fantastic trilogy of films. And I would even go as far as to say Insidious might be in my top 5 favorite franchises at this moment. For having 5 films and all of them as solid as they are, in my personal opinion, the weakest being Insidious Chapter 3, still a fantastic film. Very good film. But like I said, there are a couple parts. Everybody knows I'm the softie of the group.
Yeah.
There's a couple parts in this movie that got me pretty misty-eyed. Whether it was, you know, Josh not being able to tell his fucking son he loves him on the phone is driving me fucking nuts. Tell your son you love him. I tell everybody I love him, okay? Like,
yeah, but he redeems himself.
He does.
So I think I would score it probably a 3.5. I really did enjoy it. And like you said, it's a great addition to the, you know, the first and second one. I don't think that there is a bad movie in this franchise
I agree.
at all.
I don't think there is.
If the third one is, you know, also in my opinion, the weakest one, it's still a good film. It's still entertaining. It still has good, you know, good parts about it.
It is very hard to find a franchise that is five films deep.
Where you like, and
you have, you know, hills and valleys.
Yeah,
but no huge dip in quality.
Yeah.
You know, I compare this to Scream when it comes to quality of film, because the only thing that puts Scream above is you have a consistency of cast. The only real consistency in cast in this is Lynn Shay.
Yeah.
You know, and she's just a cameo in a couple of the movies.
Yeah.
But like I said, her cameo in this film is huge. It's a huge breath of relief. Same thing with Carl's cameo. I loved Carl's cameo in this film. I'm a huge Stephen Coulter guy. I love Stephen Coulter, whether it was this, whether it's The Conjuring, everything he's ever done. And Carl's one of my favorite characters in the whole franchise of Insidious.
He's awesome.
I wish we could have got a little more of him. But, you know, all the things...
But what we did get of him, it made sense, and it was perfect.
It was not overdone.
No.
It wasn't shoved down your throat.
Yeah. Because I almost thought that they were going to, like, call him and be like, we need your help
so
again.
Did I. Bring your dice!
But I guess they, you know, Renee's like, I can do this. I handled it before. I'll do it again.
So, what I do love about this, my last closing thought, if you haven't seen any other Insidious movie and you want to go into this one, it would help you to watch part 1 and 2.
Yeah, for sure.
But you could still be entertained by this movie and still, you know, kind of stay up to pace on what's going on.
It's still going to scare you, and you're still going to get that horror aspect of it. So.
There are moments in this movie that made me genuinely laugh. There were moments that made me genuinely sad, genuinely scared, There's a couple real action-packed sequences.
Yeah.
There's a lot to enjoy about this film. So if you're a fan of the Insidious franchise, strongly recommend this film.
Yeah,
if you're a fan of possession, supernatural horror, strongly recommend this film. If you're a fan of horror in general, I strongly recommend this film. If you want to try watching a horror movie to try to get into the genre,
strongly recommend this
I'll
film.
recommend House. But I'll say after House, you should probably check out Insidious the Red Door. So I do want to, real quick, I want to thank Ashley for her amazing art to show us
Please
how
just
much...
don't ask me to draw Dalton's new
From the new stuff.
Yeah, because I can't.
I want
do
the
it.
red door with the hammer. That's all I'm going to say.
Do I have to use my real blood?
So we want to know what you guys think. Have you seen Insidious the Red Door? And if you have, what are your thoughts on the film? Where would you rank it in the franchise? We have a franchise ranking coming up. So we'll be ranking these whole movies in depth on what we love, dislike, and how we rank them in terms of the other throughout the franchise. So,
Yes.
like I said, let us know down in the comments what your guys' thoughts are. What are your expectations for later installments? We already know that we're going to have an Insidious spinoff featuring Mandy Moore, which I'm very, very excited about.
Yeah, I love Mandy Moore. I'm stoked.
Right.
Yes.
So we know that we're going to be getting spin-offs. Like I said, I believe firmly that this story is done. The Lambert family story is completed. And it's a great ending to their story. Maybe if we get one more movie, it'll be a short about how Josh goes to dinner with Renee.
Yeah, and they get back together because they love each other.
Right. So again, guys, we want to thank you so much. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel more than you know. And please follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. All our links are down in the description. But until next time, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.